So this is the first of a series of short little videos to walk you through Roblox Studio and game development using Roblox Studio. So we're just going to start with some of the basics in this video. We're going to look at Studio and some of the components in there, just so you kind of have a quick understanding of what the lay of the land is. So we're going to start with just a simple base plate. Uh, so here we have Roblox Studio. This should be what you see when you open up Roblox Studio and log in using your Roblox username and password. Here you'll see a bunch of options here just to get you started, and they actually do a great job, jump starting your game development. But for the sake of focusing on the controls and stuff in Roblox Studio, we're actually just going to open the base plate up. So if you click on the base plate template, you will be presented with this. Whoop! Well, you'll be presented with it when it's there. And there it is. Okay, so you will be presented with this base plate, what almost looks like a Lego base plate, but it's not. We'll just walk through a few of the other things that have come up here. So if you look up at the top, there are 5 different tabs that are located at the top of the screen. These tabs have different functions, and you can kind of guess just by the looks and the names of what those tabs are, you can kind of guess what types of things would be in each of those tabs. But let's just walk through them. In the Home tab, these are sort of your uh, commonly used things in Roblox Studio. So things to actually manipulate objects that you place on your world. There's a terrain editor that allows you to, as it sounds, edit terrain. There's uh, some selections here for parts and for other uh, game related or object manipulating type of functions. If you move to the Model tab, you will see that there's actually all of the same types of things in a lot more detail. So here, this is very object-centric. So if you put any kind of object on your world or your main screen here, you have some control over moving it, scaling that object, rotating it, and so on and so forth. You also have some quick fix type things like rotating and moving settings, which we'll go through in a different tutorial. Um, Part selection, materials, and things like that are all located here. In the Test tab, you'll see that this is actually when you're actually running through your game and trying to figure out whether it's working, whether it's not working, and you can actually simulate different scenarios like whether or not you're using an iPhone versus a desktop computer, whether the physics are working properly, the audio, and so on and so forth. The View tab is what defines what you see in all of these windows here. So for example, Explorer here, if I click it, you'll notice that the window on the far right side disappeared. If I click it again, oh, sorry, my thing keeps coming up, but if you click it again, you'll actually see that the Explorer window comes back. Likewise with properties, you can have all different windows here. So output windows, these are especially, some of these are especially helpful when you're doing Lua scripts, for example. And then there's the plugins, which are plugins that someone else has made or plugins that you may have made. And this is where you might import and export those plugins. So the Explorer view is where you'll see all of your different objects that are on the screen here. The properties view is a drill down, if you will, of each of these objects. So if I look in my workspace, you'll see that there is a base plate. And by workspace, we just mean everything that's in this window here. So if I click on baseplate, you'll see that there's a number of properties that come up, and those properties are relative to this object, the baseplate. Likewise, if I selected terrain or camera or anything else, I can change properties associated with each of those, and they're relative to that object that you've selected. This will become increasingly important as you add things to your world, which we will get to in a later video. So that's it. That's kind of how we operate here in Roblox Builder and or Roblox Studio, excuse me. So in the next few videos, we'll go through several different tools that you can use. These videos build on each other, so if you missed a video, it might be advantageous to go back and watch the video later.